Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bortlesnort, your host. Our heroes have uncovered new friends and stayed one step ahead of new enemies. Butthole, Juniper, and Moonhammer were sent further on their quest by the Grand Wizard Bortlesnort, while Quinny and Reginald found a lawyer and escaped Captain Planteer in the archives. What will happen now that the rebellion and characters from Avernus have joined our various parties? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Not that long ago, a team of somewhat guilty-feeling heroes known as the Stained descended into Avernus, one of the rings of hell, in order to save the city of Elturel from a truly horrendous fate that they were partially responsible for. So this wasn't a fully altruistic act, but still cool stuff. Over the course of their journeys, they managed to save Elturel, return it to the mortal planes. But one of the heroes, the goblin monk bard, possibly both, Hambone,
he was multi-class, yeah.
Sacrificed himself in order to help the fallen angel Zariel return to herself, and now kind of kicks around in her brain in a way that is probably irking her to this day. But two of the heroes, Maud Buggins and Werner Ragnarok, realizing that they were kind of monsters and that here there was an infinite war where Werner could just kill assholes forever and where Maud could make amends for the generations worth of war she waged in her dwarven life in Dumfaerun, decided to stick around and became kind of the boogeymen of Avernus. If you're wondering about more details on this, don't go look for that R.A. Salvatore book that you think might have it. It's not there. You can go check out our one-shots adventure, Sent into Avernus.
We called it that. Oh my God.
Of course we did. But dear listener, dear viewer, if you have not watched it, do not worry, because you'll get everything you need from these characters here today. Sitting in this car, the Golden Doom, that they earned through a variety of ill-gotten means, Maud Buggins, the dwarven, I believe, berserker, Laura?
Oh, yeah.
And Werner Ragnarok are sitting there. My friends, can you give us a quick description, as best you remember it, of what these characters look like?
Yeah, so Werner Ragnarok is basically portly Werner Herzog dressed like a bargain basement Legolas. He has pointed ears, but he is very clearly like an out-of-shape Werner Herzog in his 70s, with a bow slung over his back, perpetually tired, has never smiled, dead eyes like a fish.
Yeah, and your bow is, of course, the Bow of Heroes, a famed artifact that is sentient, that you managed to cow into submission with years of verbal abuse, only for it to finally come around to your nihilistic way of thinking. But now it's talking again, which is a real fucking pain in the ass for you. And Maud Buggins, what do you look like?
Maud Buggins is like an older dwarf woman who, if I remember correctly, was a blacksmith.
Correct.
Too.
Yep.
So she's got one huge right arm, and I believe she has a maul.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. And she is she's fun. You'll hear.
Yeah. So having sprung this on the players as well as you, the audience, Moonhammer, Butthole, and Juniper, you meet these two strange characters in their sick battle wagon. Werner, you received word not too long ago as you were refueling on soul gems that the Great Wizard Bortlesnort required a favor from you. You don't care much for Mr. Kake, but you do care about the access and the insight he can give you, because given that he has eyes on the world above, he's able to give you some insight into future assholes who will be arriving in hell. So it was to your benefit to do him this solid, which is basically you need to get these three random travelers across Avernus to a portal that will drop them back into some lesser ring of hell with what sound like assholes, but like different assholes. So the job to the Stained, Maud Buggins, and Werner Herzog, Werner Ragnarok. No, now you'll know. Long-time listener, Werner Herzog, regular guest on Garbage Town. Your job is to get them safely across the wasteland to the portal. But that's all you're doing because you kind of hate these people. So I've tasked both Laura and Ryan with voicing characters whose motives are just that. That said, I really do want you to think about them as NPCs. In this case, they're going to be driving the car. That said, that does mean that Moonhammer, Butthole, and Juniper, it's going to be up to you to man the weapons on this vehicle. Because in order to get across no man's land, you're going to have to fend off a bunch of shit. So I hope you all watched your Mad Maxes before bed, as is recommended by most doctors, because it's time to go for a hell ride. How do you greet these two characters, Moonhammer, Juniper, and Butthole?
Hello, new friends. So
there we go.
My name is Butthole. Because I'm imagining we're like speeding through the desert on a racing car. And I'm like,
oh, I was gonna say this is just when you're like standing next to them. But if you want to yell the whole thing, I'm happy to let you.
Yeah, I imagine we're there. You know, we might catch up to it in a minute, but we'll
just like I get in. They're just like, yeah, and there's a bunch of like little weird dudes with red caps who are like polishing your armor and stuff and like giving you thumbs up.
Moss just like, get in, we're on a schedule.
Great. So yes, Ryan, continue with your yelling over this. I just wanted to kind of make sure we're all thinking about the same thing. So go.
This is Juniper and this is Moonhammer. Thank you for the ride.
And Werner, I don't think you signed up for conversation.
Oh no.
But you realize there's a gap that you need to fill. So what do you say to try and make these idiots shut up?
We are not friends. We will take you through this idiot desert hellscape and dump you out the other side because the wizard and his boyfriend in the sky have things I want. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I'm not your friend. No one is your friend. This hell is a joke and the gods are meaningless.
And then he just turns back and hits the gas.
Amazing. So on the Golden Doom, there are a few action stations. We've got the Chomper, which is a massive like set of teeth up front that can just gnaw through people. We've got the Wrecking Ball, if you're feeling Miley Cyrus-y today, and then we have a Harpoon Flinger. So each of you is meant to man one weapon. What weapon do you each want? Moonhammer. You are surprised as you kind of start looking at each of these things that the setup for them seems to almost shift every time you look at them. Like it's sort of like in a video game when you're trying to make a choice. You look at something, the mechanics seem to shift to be hammer operated, and when you look to the next one, they kind of shift back. So it seems like whatever you're on, you'll be able to operate by like slamming hammers, like a dulcimer of death.
Put the bearded fat one as far from me as possible. He's clearly an idiot.
Butthole, you just get called an idiot, which, happens a lot. But how do you feel about it today? I mean, you got called an idiot in front of Moonhammer.
Yeah, I need the ride. So I think he'll just like quietly take it and go to the furthest station.
You lose your bless from your dolphin dance. You know that you look kind of shitty in front of Moonhammer, which she doesn't seem to react to at all, but like it means something to you,
Yeah, I think there's a lot of confused in Butthole currently, so that feels like it tracks. So what's the furthest one from the front?
Probably
the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, the Wrecking Ball is hanging off the back.
That feels like a Butthole too. He'll do the Wrecking Ball.
Cool. Alyssa, you had something.
Okay. What was the third one? There was
it is a harpoon flinger. So think like a gun that just like launches harpoons at opposing vehicles.
Okay, sweet. Okay, I'm gonna take that one and I'm gonna saunter over and get into the car, but I'm really heavy, so I like way down the one side of the car when I get in.
Yeah, great.
Nice.
So just like the side of the car the whole time you're driving is just like occasionally sparking like you're on a lowrider going over speed bumps. Great. So I guess Juniper, that leaves you with the Chomper.
Honestly, that's where I would have wanted to go anyways. I'm getting into this combat wheelchair and ramming shit. Give me some chompy stuff.
Excellent. All right, cool. So you each take your action stations. And in the distance, you see smoke and sand rising. Maud, you recognize this as a new, relatively new Marauder band that's been running around under the leadership of a guy named Jack E. Ripa. He is a think like a 90s Doritos ad character, or like one of the BK kids, if you remember them. Just like shock of hair back, like big goggles, like all neon colors. He's wearing one of those weird like neon ski jackets that only existed for 10 years between 1989 and 1999. And he's got like a Walkman, but like a fantasy version of a Walkman. So it's just like a tiny, I don't know, like mouth that floats around and just like sings songs at him. Jack in his gang they're dangerous in this is so dumb, kind of drawing off the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns thing, where it's like, oh well, like the Joker and everyone else are kind of dead, so it doesn't really matter, but the new gangs are worse because they don't actually follow any codes or rules. They're just monsters. He's kind of like that. Like you killed all the Dukes of Hell and their various marauding gangs in your last adventure, but Jack E. Ripa and his Ripa boys are a big problem, as is his sister Kelly E. Ripa. The two of them have just been causing chaos throughout Avernus, and as a result, all their vehicles are very much built for like suicide runs and various other things. So this is a real like wave shooter situation. For playing Kingdom Hearts, this is your gummy ship adventure. You must keep them away from the vehicle because they lack all subtlety. They're just here to destroy your ride. And if you guys get stranded out here, you're truly fucked.
Bernie, we got incoming pieces of shit.
Yes, I see. Thank you, Afterlife partner.
So with that, the vehicles begin to come in. I'm going to have you guys roll initiative, please, to see who operates what when.
17 for Juniper.
That is an 18 for Butthole.
It's just the 20.
Yes, and then add, I believe for you it's 4.
Okay. Sorry, where? Oh, there it is. Sorry, it's 2. So 17.
Oh, I'm full of lies. I apologize. All right, so the vehicles are approaching. In front, there are 3 bikes, each with 2 riders, one with a ranged weapon of some sort and another person driving. So think like orc war tracks, given that you and I can speak Warhammer. So just kind of like that classic one person gunning, one person driving. And there are 2 buggies. Behind them, you can see a proper grinder driving. That seems to be where Jack and Kelly Ripa are hanging out. But the bikes and the buggies are the more immediate concern. What do you do?
He's got the ball, so there's nothing he can do really at range. So I think he's realistically just kind of has to, like, at the beginning at least, hold and just whack if anybody gets close enough to whack, right?
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So let's say then that you are delaying your action until someone's within range.
That perfect.
Great. Okay, cool. Next up, we have the bikes. The bikes are rapidly closing, and over the din of the cars, you can just hear, and as they get closer and closer, you hear, "What's up?"
God.
And the bikes open fire. So the way I'm going to do this is the vehicle itself has stats. So rather than trying to shoot at all of you, it's going to shoot at the vehicle. If the vehicle gets too damaged, you're all pooched. So they're going to open fire at the vehicle. They all miss. They're too busy having their thumbs in the air and waggling their tongues in the wazop to properly be able to aim. So all of them miss. What a fucking trash turn for these villains.
I think that's where WhatsApp came from.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
It
Definitely.
just failed its way into existence from
Hell.
Dad. Yeah. All right. Juniper and Moonhammer, you guys rolled the same initiative, so I'd be curious. I know Moonhammer, you've got a +2. Juniper, what's your +2?
Stay as well, yeah.
All right. Alyssa, you're our guest, so you get to go first. Moonhammer, you've got these bikes closing in, yelling, "What's up?" There are 3 of them. But you're stationed on like a harpoon launcher, so you can hit any of them. I assume you'll aim for the closest one. Go ahead and roll, please, and add +5.
I just get one roll, right?
I'll give you 2 because I think you've earned it.
Oh,
She gets to go first and she gets 2 rolls. Fuck this.
it's
All right, I'm just gonna boot you out of the call there, Laura. Or Alyssa, what'd you get?
Sorry.
14.
14.
I wish that Laura went first.
No.
Yeah, no, that hits. Good
Okay,
job.
sweet.
So your damage on this one is 2d8. And then you can roll your second attack.
Wait, I rolled 2 of the 8 dice.
2 of the purple ones with the 8 on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a total of 5.
5. All right. Not bad. And roll your second attack, please. So same deal, d20 and then add 5.
25.
Oh yes, that definitely hits. And then another 2d8, please.
9.
9, great. Moonhammer, what are you yelling as you open fire with this? I don't think you've gotten to use like a fucking like gun ever in your life, and particularly one that has reformed for your hammer hands. This is a pretty sweet deal for old Moonhammer. What are you yelling as you launch harpoons?
Eat my farts. I don't know.
Right
Werner, that
on.
sounds pretty nihilistic. How do you react to that?
Sorry, Werner?
Yep.
It sounded like Laura, so my brain was like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Werner Ragnarok. That sounds pretty nihilistic to you. How do you respond?
That one may be okay. But it's too soon to tell.
Amazing. So, Moonhammer, you've put some serious damage into this bike. It's doing that like fishtailing bit as it struggles to stay on the road. Bringing us to Laura.
So I've just got the chomper stuff.
You do.
So
For the
that's like,
purposes
I
of
imagine
this-
that's engaged.
Yeah, so for the purposes of this, I'm going to say that you can kind of direct them to attack, and you actually do roll an attack roll with the chomper.
Cool.
But basically, it's kind of just like leaning over your shoulder to Maud, who actually does look vaguely familiar. You feel like maybe you ran into her on the stairs of Candlekeep. But you can like tell her to like crank the wheel, and she'll just like pull a hard left if you want to try and chomp one of these guys.
Cool.
The best way to think of this is anyone on a motorcycle attacking someone in a 90s action film where they're like doing jumps up and over the vehicle. So you have ample opportunity to get at these guys.
Okay. Who's
And then-
closest? I'm just gonna go after who's closest.
I think we'll probably say the guy that Moonhammer was shooting. Ryan, you'll get to go immediately after this because if they're that close, then you could realistically hit them with the wrecking ball. So yeah, let's go with bike number 1.
Yeah. Let's just get this done. They all got to go, so let's just get them done one at a time as quickly as possible. That is so 9. And what am I adding to hit it?
You are adding +9.
Fucking 18.
Great. Yep, that goes through.
Okay.
And your damage is 66 plus 4.
Oh.
66 plus
4.
4. Okay. 5, 6, 12, 15, 19 damage.
Just enough. They get
Nice.
sucked in and under, and just like something going through a lawnmower, just chewed up, spat out the other end in a spray of bike and viscera. You hear someone yell, "That's gnarly!" 2 bikes remain. Ryan, they are definitely within range of the wrecking ball. The way the wrecking ball works, you make a big swing with +9 to hit. Yep. You get double damage if it's an object or a structure. It is neither, unfortunately.
That's fine. The wrecking ball, I think Butthole swing at the guy who's yelling, "That's gnarly," because he seems distracted. So he's probably the easiest one to hit with a wrecking ball.
So we'll call that guy Cool Ranch.
Yeah, so he's going for Cool Ranch.
Nice.
And while he's doing it, he's just kind of talking to himself because he has this moment to kind of think because everything's loud so no one can hear him. And he's just like, everybody says that God is going to leave me, but people don't leave you for your own good. People leave you because they want to. And there's never been a time where people have left and it's good. And he's just swinging. So let's see what happens. It's an 18 to hit.
Yep, that'll do.
Great. And what's my damage, Tom?
8d8 plus 4 bludgeoning. As you come in like a wrecking ball.
God, it's like we have Alan back.
Okay. I mean, we can call the wrecking ball Alan. That's totally fine.
That was 53 bludgeoning damage.
Christ.
Wow.
Ryan, describe what happens to this bike.
I think he hears that the bikes, the rider's like looking over. He's like, "Wow, that's gnarly!" And he looks back, and it's just the wrecking ball hit so hard that you don't actually see a body or a bike anymore. There's just such a big explosion that there's nothing.
Yeah, so it's like a Michael Bay wrecking ball situation where it just hits and explodes so massively.
It's like the bike
gasoline
was made of fireworks.
All right, great.
That's very funny because I imagine the exact opposite, where like in Minecraft, if you like mine something, it just goes and it's gone. Not the exact opposite in terms of like climactic effect. It's just.
Well, you know what? You, the listener / viewer, you can decide on your own. You
I think the
favorite.
bike explodes, but the guy pops into disappearing.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yep.
But we can't do a Mad Max thing with no explosions.
Goodbye,
then what
Cool
are we?
Ranch. All right. So that brings us to the bikes. The only one remaining is Zesty Cheese. She's got like the classic like 3 spike hair thing going on from General Apocalypse movies. And she pulls out her Lisa Frank pencil case and she like digs inside and then she pulls out like an arrow with a bomb strapped to it. And she just says, "This is totally unfair. I don't care for this." And just like locks it into the front. And as is often the way with weird apocalypse movies, there's just like a launcher built into the bike. So she's going to fire that bomb harpoon at y'all.
Oh no!
No. All right, she will hit with the bomb harpoon. That is concerning. So I'm just going to grab my dice. What do we got? It hits the side of the Golden Doom and erupts. The Golden Doom is a beautiful vehicle. It has been built hardy, but it does deal you a significant amount of damage. You take 32 points of damage as this thing explodes. Your vehicle has 200 HP though, so you're still hardy and hale. But yeah, that was just the beginning. Top of the round, Ryan.
Great. I think the reason I'm going first again is because it's actually one swing through to get both bikes. So we've just seen the collision of one and the ball is still coming around.
Cool.
Which is an 11 to hit.
And you included the +9?
Yeah.
Zesty Cheese learned from Cool Ranch's mistakes. Again, the sentences I say on the show. And as a result, they do that like Hobbs and Shaw, Idris Elba thing where they like flip the bike on the side and they both look super cool doing it. Power sliding. Their sneakers are lighting up as they do it. And they just slide under the wrecking ball and under your car and come up on the other side.
And I think Butthole sees them escape the blow and do something cool. And he's like, "This is a sign from Moonhammer. You can't be cool if you're going around doubting Moonhammer. What am I, some other asshole? I'm insane. You need blind faith. Blind faith kills your enemies and makes you friends. Moonhammer!" And he's just like, now he's just swinging the ball randomly, I think, because there's no one in range. But he's celebrating his victory.
It's just like swinging around like those... Oh, what the fuck even was that thing? It was one of the dumb like 90s toys. There was just like a ball on a string. You like spin it around yourself in dramatic ways. So yeah, you're just like smashing the ground. You're not even like swinging it properly anymore. You're just like treating it like
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
like
I
a
think he's
skip
talking
it.
about a skip it.
I am talking about skip it, but if you weren't skipping with it, you were just
Yeah,
flailing it around your body.
Just-
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, no skipping, just destruction. Okay, great. That's a nightmare for all involved. Cool.
Oh yeah, and he's farting up a storm. So if any bikes end up behind us, they're gonna have a rough ride.
Stay upwind. Moonhammer.
Okay. So what's the situation? So the bikes are on the other side now.
There's one remaining bike, and the two war buggies are closing in. So think of those as like dune buggies, but with kind of like a cannon on the back. One of them's got a cannon, one of them's got a flamethrower.
Okay. How close is the bike? Is it like right beside us?
Yeah,
Okay. So could I reach out and smash it?
you could try.
Okay. So I want to reach out with my 2 hammers. I'm like got my hands out of the harpoon things. And I just want to like smash them together on the one guy's helmet, on the driver's helmet.
All right, go ahead. Also, like, good work giving them a helmet. Even the apocalypse, we've got road safety for motorcyclists. No, it's good. I like it a lot. I respect this.
There's holes in the helmet to let the 3
Yeah,
hair
of course.
spikes
I mean,
poke
naturally,
out.
she
Like,
drilled the holes in, but you know.
Oh wait, do I add anything to that?
Yes, you'll add +9.
Oh, okay. So I have 23.
Okay, you hit. Go ahead and roll your damage, please.
Okay. That's 2 of the 8s, right?
It's a D. In this case, because you're using your
3.
hammers, it'll be a D12 +5.
Oh, okay. Sorry. 7.
So you smash the head. You feel the head pulp, and you're pretty proud of yourself. But unfortunately, your porous hammers stick together, and you are pulled from the Golden Doom as you fly forward onto this motorcycle. Now you've just killed the driver. The gunner is still behind you, and now you're trying to drive with your hammer fists. So Alyssa, I'm going to need a dexterity save from you, please, which is not your forte. Bottom left of your page has your saves. We're looking for dexterity. So roll a d20 and then add that number.
Okay. 7.
As Butthole, you're yelling for Moonhammer and for Blind Faith and just swinging your skip it around. You look and you see the bike and you see just a perfect arc coming at the bike, and you just kind of smile to yourself. And then you notice who's driving it, and you realize it's Moonhammer, and you realize she's just like swerving, and you try and move it out of the way, but she swerves into it, and it just fucking punches through that bike. The bike explodes. Alyssa, you're gonna take
The opposite of bless.
31 points of damage, and you are now clinging to the wrecking ball as it swings through the sky.
and I think Butthole, who's watching, has a moment of panic, and then he's like, "No, wait, she did that on purpose. Blind Faith, Moonhammer's the coolest. I'm gonna hit another car with her."
Amazing.
I think
the
Maud and
buggies,
Vernon like share a look, being like, "This one's supposed to be a god."
Maud, did you just call me Vernon?
Did I burn her?
Ever since we had sex at one time, you can't remember my name.
and the red caps are
Bernie,
like, "You can do it." You can boot that one off if you want. I really don't care about the red caps.
I think no, he won't. He's just gonna look down, and I think Werner's deepest fear now is that the red caps are gonna start calling his penis Vernon.
What?
Yeah, that's a good fear to have, and one that will likely come true. All right. So you can see the portal not too far from here. It's one of the many portals that it's basically been established kind of as a garbage chute, because they're just constantly heroes who show up in Avernus trying to like accomplish things. And most of the time it's a huge pain in the ass. It's like, "Oh, my lover's down here and I got to bring them back." It's like, "No, you're going to turn into a fucking pillar of salt. Stop it. Get out of here." So it's basically just where you boot people out of Avernus, and it just kind of shunts them back to wherever they need to go. Werner, I'm pretty sure you had this built and paid for possibly with some of those soul gems from Tiamat, just because like this has been a consistent problem for you. And so there is a joy in this for you because, you know, taking out the trash is kind of what you do. And you can see it in the distance, sort of glinting. Unfortunately, the buggies are now upon you. So the buggies are a bit hardier. They've got better weapons and they're a bit more armored. Behind them, of course, is the Code Red, the most sugary and ill thought out vehicle to ever roam the wastelands of Avernus. And the Rippas are driving it maniacally laughing. It is heavily armed. It is currently about 1 turn away from you. The buggies, however, have arrived. So I will roll for them and I will roll for the Code Red. Oh, damn, they got 20. But we are still in initiative order. So Moonhammer, you're hanging on to a wrecking ball. You see these 2 war buggies and they start to spin up. One of them has a flamethrower. One of them has a cannon. The cannon, you can see there's a guy on the side who's just starting to crank the cannon to open fire. What do you do?
How far away are they?
They are probably, I don't know, they're a few meters away. I will point out, though, you still do have your torpedoes. Like, you can still launch spiritual hammers. I'll just make you roll to hang on to the wrecking ball while you do, because you'll have to, like, you can't really hang on so much as, like, just clutch. So, but you can still use your ranged attacks if you feel so inclined.
Tom, did you want Moonhammer going twice in a row?
Oh shit! No, I'm sorry, I didn't. So hang tight, Alyssa. Juniper.
I think it's just like looking back at Werner's driving, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just being like bring me around. I'm going to nash the fucking buggy. No?
Everyone just brings me chores.
So crank it over so they can go after a buggy.
Amazing. All right, so Laura, roll your attack, if somewhat begrudgingly,
Yeah.
on Avernus' part.
Well, that's a 26 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, nice. 12 plus 8, so 24 damage on that one.
Ooh, that's enough to breach its mishap threshold.
Yes!
So a tire bursts as you chomp through it, and suddenly it just starts doing donuts in slow motion. Moonhammer, you swing over on the wrecking ball. They are directly beneath you as they're death spiraling out of here. Is there anything you do?
Can I? They're death spiraling.
Yeah, this is more a spite thing than it is an actively attacking them thing. It just figures the god of farts, there might be something you wanted to do on your way by.
Yeah, just like can I fart in their faces as they spiral
you
out
can.
of control?
What do you yell at them as you unleash your godly fart?
Suck in my sweet stink air, you fuckers.
Werner, you realize that 2 of them might be okay.
No, that's the same lady. She just yelled, "Eat my farts" earlier.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I thought yeah, great. I'm sorry. There's a lot going on. I got a lot of characters to balance right now. Oh boy. Great. So yes, she crop dusts them as they spin away. And then the car rolls, hits a rock and explodes. So their final breaths were unfortunate. 1 buggy remains. We are at the dune buggies. So they are going to open fire with the we'll say the flamethrowers left. So it's just going to torch the entirety of the vehicle. This will affect each of you. So I need a dex save, please.
Shit.
From the
Does
3 of you.
Moonhammer need one where she's clinging to the?
Oh, I guess
the
not.
ball?
No. So just the people on the vehicle, because
And everybody add 3.
except for Moonhammer, who isn't getting
Except for Moonhammer.
but she
This is
would.
Dex.
Yeah.
10.
16.
16. All right. So That is 23 points of damage. But it is fire damage. But Butthole, I don't think you have fire gauntlets anymore. Do you? After your armor burnt up in the Technokraken's stomach?
I don't know, because they were hail gloves of the golden dragon that I had. I cannot remember whether.
I think they burnt up.
Got a line through them here in your bag of holding.
Okay, then I don't have them.
So unfortunately, that will be full damage for you and half damage for Laura.
Okay, cool.
All right, top of the round. Ryan, you've got access to the wrecking ball. The dune buggy is definitely within range. Moonhammer is on the wrecking ball, but seems to just be kind of empowering it with her holy farts. What do you do?
Yeah. No, I'm just going to use the other side of the wrecking ball to hit the dune buggy.
All right, go for it. I'm going to give you advantage because you think Moonhammer is guiding it.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course she is. That's a 21.
Yep, that'll do. So once again, 8d8 plus 4.
Okay, that time it's 51 damage.
How wild.
You just have to roll a couple of 8s every time, and it
yeah,
really adds up.
seriously.
Yeah. It smashes through that buggy, just tosses it aside like a cheap toy. It rolls for a bit. There's fire coming off of it, and then it rolls to a stop. And then in classic comedy action movie style, it explodes like a second after it should. And you are left just with the code red as you race to the portal.
I think Butthole just bursts out laughing, and he's like, "Oh man, atheists are so stupid."
Jesus.
Moonhammer, you're hanging off the wrecking ball. The code red is rapidly closing in. The code red looks like an oversized Hot Wheels, like those cars that kids would drive around in the 90s, like rich kids. So it's just like it's the bright Barbie pink. It's got kind of an unnecessary amount of embellishment on it, and it's hauling ass toward you. What do you do?
Okay, so I'm gonna use my harpoon. But can I fart on it and then smash my hammers together, ignite the fart?
You can do that. I will say you're on the wrecking ball right now, so I'm going to make you roll a check to jump back onto the car. Okay. So give me an athletics check to see if you can get back on the vehicle.
Okay. Which one is that? Which dice?
A D20, please.
Okay. 6.
Oh.
You leap, and not unlike the arena, you misjudge it horribly. Ryan, I need you to roll an emergency reaction to see if you can swing the wrecking ball back into Moonhammer in time to save her, or do you have a thing?
No, that's got to be an attack roll. There's not a thing I can do that with. So yes, what am I rolling to swing the ball?
Just your standard hammer attack. It means it will hit Moonhammer, but it might save her from falling away and dying.
This is very funny. So I rolled a 3, which means it adds up to 12. However, I am a cleric of Moonhammer, and I have an ability called Hell Fart. So what I do is open my mouth, summoning the power of my goddess, and you just hear a bellowing fart echo out, but with the red fires of hell lighting it from beneath, and it just hits the ball and speeds it up to slam into Moonhammer. So I get to add 10, so now I have a 22.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay, that one is a 45.
Moonhammer, you take 45 points of damage, but you don't fall to your death.
Okay. All right.
Going for a real small blessings here.
Goodness.
All right, Juniper, what do you do?
We've got we still got one buggy left, right?
You're just dealing with Code Red, the
big guy,
the villain.
Oh, that's all we have left. Okay, fuck, right. Okay, awesome.
For
Werner just waves you off and steers the car to hit the jaws into their code red.
Yeah, I'm basically just like I'm rolling with however this vehicle is moving to try to chomp.
Werner's looking at this and basically considers Juniper like the kid you pretend is driving on your lap. Like Werner's just steering the jaws into things, but Juniper thinks she's killing it.
Yeah. I would love to be, I mean, if possible, depending on how Werner's steering the car, to like basically chomp down on like the front side so that, I don't know, maybe the momentum like flips the back end over.
All right. I will say you can roll with disadvantage for that very specific result.
You already committed. You got to do it. You got to do it.
I know I have to do it now. All right. Hey, boy. 11.
Tom.
Yep.
The hell fart continues because I could do 2 per long rest. So I would like to just be like, and then he like looks to the left and it hits the chomper down and adds 10 to her roll.
I mean, who am I to stand in the way of progress? Sure.
So 21?
Yeah, fine. Fuck it. Sure.
What does that spell even, Ryan? Oh my god.
Oh, it's a clerical ability. It's
so
that or
66.
destroy undead.
I believe you.
+4.
Also, I mean, it's not like we know that Planteer has AC in the 20s and needs to be real useful later.
16 damage.
All right. So you chomp into it and it doesn't quite flip over, but it is caught in the teeth. So just this horrible metal grinding. Everything sounds terrible. Moonhammer, you're pretty close to this. And you can see Jack and Kelly, and they're both sitting there being like, oh no, this is tubular. What do you do?
So is their car's like in the chomper thing? It's like this.
Sorry, I was muted. In the jaws, just like it's caught, being dragged, sparks flying. They're like right there looking at you. You're hanging off the you've just been hit by the wrecking ball. So there's like kind of blood everywhere, but like you're also still on the wrecking ball. What do you do?
Can I kind of want to jump onto their car.
Worked so well the last time you left the vehicle.
Yeah, I need to like redeem myself, so I'm gonna try again.
Okay, I'll say this one's a bit easier because you're not leaping off a wrecking ball back onto your vehicle. You're just dropping.
Falling onto them, right?
So roll athletics with advantage, please. So roll 2d20 and pick the best one.
Okay.
I mean, we know she's got the health points. Like it's not going to be, it's not going to be a deal. Big deal.
So I just picked the best one. Do I add anything to it or no?
Yes, you'll be adding your athletics score from your skills.
Okay, so that's 17.
Nice.
Yep, that'll do it. So you drop onto the captured car, and you know I'm not great at math, but there are two of them, and there are two hammers. So all I'm saying is 1 + 1 = dead. So go ahead and roll your attacks, please.
So I do the 2 again.
Tom, dare I ask, are they like strapped in or anything that might make it harder for them
That would
to move?
give advantage. You are correct. They are strapped in. It is a war buggy. And you know, the 90s and early 2000s were all about car safety and staying buckled up. So yes, you have advantage. So for each of your attacks, roll 2d20, pick the best one, and then add 9.
Okay. So the first one is 26.
That will
26 will hit.
And the second one is 22.
Also hit.
Okay.
So that is each one of those is a d12 + 5. Unless you're raging, in which case it's a d12 + 8.
I will rage, but
That's
these
fair.
are okay. So 2 of them + 8.
Each one
D12.
gets +8.
Each one, yeah.
Yeah.
Each 12 dice gets +8.
Yes,
okay.
that's correct.
So then 2 17s.
Oh shit! Nice.
It will come as little surprise that the people hiding in the vehicle had but 15 HP. So hammers come up. What happens when you bring the hammers down, Alyssa?
Yeah, I just it's basically just gonna like smash right down on their heads, like completely crushing their spines, like so their head is kind of just like now.
Yeah, like crushing them like a
Smashed.
can.
Yeah, like it's like an accordion kind of folding back on itself. So their heads just like end up kind of in their crotches.
Yep, fair
Nice.
enough. You pull the hammers up and the airbags deploy and just like blow through the area where their bodies were. And then you crawl off the car. Juniper, you like pull back on the chomper. The code red kind of like spins off, falls over and explodes, and is never involved in a product line again. And the Golden Doom delivers our friends the Dum Dums to the portal. You pull up Werner, again, not wanting to seem cool, but can't help just fucking hitting the brakes and Tokyo drifting up to the portal. He kind of you let out a breath, and Maud and Werner, it's time to say goodbye in whatever form you'd like to Juniper, Butthole, and Moonhammer. Also, Juniper, Butthole, and Moonhammer, time to say goodbye to your erstwhile chauffeurs. What does the farewell look like?
Juniper is like very grateful, just like can't thank them enough. It's very genuine.
Great.
Okay, but you owe me nothing. I didn't do this for you.
Well, I mean, regardless, it ended up good for me. So, okay. And she just turns around and goes away. It's like, nah, it's a lost cause.
Werner accidentally helped someone.
Don't like how it feels.
Moonhammer, Werner seems to be quite taken with you. How do you say goodbye to him?
Your assistance will be rewarded.
Okay,
Thank
what
you.
do I get?
Well, that will be decided once I am restored to my rightful throne.
With you some kind of queen or something?
Yes, something. Sort of like that.
Man, I thought you were going to be cool. Instead, your problem. What are you the queen of?
Used to be hell, gonna be hell again. Then I'm a god, so.
Oh, no, that's so stupid. You're the problem with the world. I'll tell you, if you take your throne, I'm going to come and rip your guts out your butthole and sham them in your mouth until you're dead. Don't come back here. Why did I do this? I'm going to punch Bukake. I'm going to kill him. Fucking gods.
And he's just stomping off, like kicking rocks and shit.
Great. Butthole, how do you say farewell to Maud, given that Werner has left?
Well, Maud, thank you. No thanks to that guy. Seems like he has a problem. Is there anything we could do for you? When
Yeah,
Moonhammer's
get
been
out.
down
We
with
got
it?
demons to kill. Like, what are you waiting for? Go.
Okay, well, I thought maybe
You're
one of-
welcome.
So can I have a hug or something?
If that will get you to go faster, then yes, hug it out.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is nice.
Is it a good hug? I mean, I
don't
feel
know.
like you're both war-worn mercenaries. So it's probably one of those weird like army hugs where it's just
It's
a
like
lot of muscle pounding.
Yeah, it's very firm.
But yeah, Butthole can't not give a good hug. This is what he's into this shit.
Yep.
He's like, okay, so should we kiss? I never gave you a formal hello.
Go away. And she walks back to the car, the Doom.
Well, I like her. She seems focused.
And with that, the car does 3 spiteful donuts, just kicking up dirt and dust into your faces, and tears off to continue to terrorize hell. And there's a dog that barks very,
Like an
very
engine rev.
fervently. Yeah, just with a vengeance. It picks up a
It's a
dog.
Moonhammer.
We didn't even talk about it, but there was a cute dog in there the whole time.
Aw.
And, with that,
Moonhammer, that was pretty crazy, just jumping onto that ball and doing all those cool moves. I mean, you told me I had to have blind faith in you, and now that I've seen what you're capable of, I'm not going to question your actions anymore. You're a genius.
Thank you. I wouldn't mislead you.
And with that, the 3 of you step through the portal. for a minute, your vision blurs, and Butthole, as your vision clears, you see a tiny familiar figure. Quinny, you turn to see Butthole, and at last, the Dum-Dums are reunited.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Elizabeth at EL Hamstring on Twitter, our special guest, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons logo is by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. Christian Menicola, Long, the Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, Charles Grams, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, One True Artistry, Orion Birchfield, Lord of Bradovic, Noel Lewis, Scott Garland, Anthony Griffin, Chet Awesome Laser, Jordan Neesmith, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Taryn Hefner, Cade Peters, Richard Cranium, Christian Mendez, Anna Zed, Eric Williams, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Great Dane, Acrix, Cameron Ezel, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.